In 2011, the Louisiana State Penitentiary, commonly known as Angola Prison, was already infamous. Built on the grounds of a former slave plantation, surrounded by barbed wire and alligator-infested swamps, it was often called the Alcatraz of the South. It was home to more than 6,000 inmates, most serving life sentences. But what the public didn't know, and what the state tried desperately to bury, was that for over a decade, a respected prison doctor was secretly orchestrating a string of deaths inside those walls. And no one questioned it, because his victims were prisoners. Dr. Victor Sunlay had an impeccable resume. Harvard-trained, former Navy medic. He arrived at Angola in 1998 with a quiet demeanor and a reputation for saving lives in war zones. To the administration, he was the perfect man for the job. Efficient, unemotional, controlled. To the inmates, he was the final face you saw before the body bag. Between 2000 and 2011, 62 prisoners died under his watch. And for a long time, no one noticed. Because every death had a file. Every file had a signature. And every signature had Dr. Sunlay's name. It started with inmate Clayton Harris, 37 years old, a former gang member serving life without parole. On June 12, 2001, Harris was brought to the infirmary after complaining of chest pains. He was laughing with the guard escorting him. Within an hour, he was dead. Cause of death: acute myocardial infarction. No investigation. No autopsy. Just a form. A checkbox. A signature. Over the next 3 years, this pattern repeated. Inmates who entered the medical wing with minor injuries or complaints, toothaches, migraines, sprained ankles, would suddenly end up dead. Some collapsed within minutes. Others suffered seizures. A few screamed of burning pain before foaming at the mouth. Still, nothing raised alarm. Because the victims were convicted killers, drug dealers, rapists. Society had already marked them as disposable. But then came Jared Nolan, a white-collar fraudster serving 12 years. Unlike the others, he wasn't poor, black, or uneducated. He was a college graduate from Vermont. He kept a detailed journal, one he mailed weekly to his sister, Diane Nolan, who lived in San Diego. In his final entry, dated October 19, 2006, he wrote, "Something's off with the doctor. We call him the collector. Guys go in and don't come out. He always smiles when he doses you. Always offers you water after. Stay away from the water." Jared was found dead 3 days later. The report said heat stroke. In October, Diane was suspicious. She filed a Freedom of Information request for her brother's medical records. It was denied. She tried contacting the prison directly. They ignored her. So she went to the press. No one listened. Until 2013, when Angola inmate Luis Mercer escaped. He didn't make it far. He was caught 47 hours later in the swamp, covered in leeches and barely conscious. But what he told authorities shook them. Sunlay's not a doctor. He's a goddamn serial killer. He injects people with weird stuff, says he's doing experiments. Tells us he's cleaning the system. He killed Jared. He killed Marcus. He almost killed me too, but I switched pills with James. James died. I didn't. An internal investigation was quietly launched. Dr. Sunlay was placed on leave, but not arrested. His license was under review. Nothing was made public. That should have been the end. But someone leaked the story to reporter Quinn Morales, a journalist for an underground zine. Based in New Orleans, Quinn ran a 3-part expose titled The Death Ward at Angola. It went viral on Reddit, 4chan, and eventually Twitter. That's when things spiraled out of control. Dr. Victor Sunlay vanished 3 days after the first article was published. His house was empty. His bank accounts were drained. No passport activity. His car was found abandoned near the Mississippi River. To this day, no body has been found. The state called the whole thing a sensationalized misunderstanding. They quietly paid off 5 families. They restructured Angola's medical staff. The story faded. But for the families who lost their brothers, sons, fathers, it never faded. And for reporter Quinn Morales, the nightmare was just beginning. Because the story he uncovered, it went deeper than one rogue doctor. It led to private pharmaceutical deals, experimental trials, and a decades-long eugenics program, buried in Louisiana's prison system. The article hit like a hammer. The Collector, inside Angola's human experimentation program, was the kind of headline that should have torn through every newsroom in the country. But instead, it was buried, mocked as fiction, dismissed as paranoid speculation. Dr. Victor Sunlay didn't make a statement. He simply vanished. And that's when investigative reporter Quinn Morales knew the story wasn't just real. It was radioactive.